that is just a task within itself. Like, people knew this game was wonky playing it at, like, the Invitationals, but, like, it wasn't until we actually really got to get our fingers in and, like, dive in that you're seeing, like, wow, this game has a lot to it. It's more than just, you know, rage and blast.
See the hidden depth of this game. So we got a button check here, but Zero Suit versus Marth seems like going to be the matchup here.
Okay.
I'm not too sure how this is going to turn out.
You know, I'm super interested to see how it's going to go down as well. You know, I'm never complaining when I see these two characters. I love these two characters a lot. I'm not just saying that because I'm on commentary. I think ZSS certainly brings the hype, and I'm all about that if anybody knows me. But then, you know, we can also look at a guy like Marth. You know, Marth, a character that didn't start off very strong in this game, you know, received a few buffs. The right guy started to pick him up, and boom, representation at its finest. You know, we start to see MKLeo take events, big-named events, you know, playing Marth in Grand Finals. And just, you know, weird stuff like that. And he's one of those few characters that kind of rewrites the tier list, kind of like how we look at Shulk. You know, each Monado that he switches into, he kind of moves up and down a little bit, but he still kind of stays in that same general area. But Marth kind of takes that ideology and then kicks it up even like more notches because he's a walking, talking limit attack. The fact that he can space you proficiently with like his tipper attacks and kill you at absurdly low percents just makes him dangerous.
Yeah. And now some people maybe arguing Marth top 10 character. You know, it's such a huge jump. It might be one of the biggest jumps, I feel like, from the start of the game tier list number to currently.
I agree. Because, like, when any new Smash game comes out, people always want to know, like, how the old Melee characters are in Smash 4. And, like, first out the gate, people are like, yo, Marth is just not, the old dog just ain't what it used to be. But now, looking pretty good, man. Slaying some of the best characters in the game here. But let's see if we can kind of keep that same script going here as we move right into this game, man. Kasen, get ready to face off against Airvault. Let's do it. Boom. Okay, watch me whip. Oh, forgot the Nene. There we go.
I always love these first moments of games where the opponents are just feeling each other out, not really committing to anything, really trying to figure out where they can approach, where they can apply pressure, and where they need to be backing off a little bit.
Of course. And I think it makes that much of a difference for a character like Airvault. Not to say that, you know, ZSS doesn't have any disadvantageous stages, because, of course, every character does for the most part, unless you're Bayonetta. But, you know, looking at a character like Marth, a lot of his arrows he has to commit to. You know, he has to put a ring on it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like I talked about, those tipper attacks coming through and slaying ZSS.
Sometimes you don't need to figure that out. You just need a one smash attack.
You know it, man. Beautiful stuff here. Puts the space heals on him. Not quite enough to get the stock, but at least it sends the message at hand.
Just the raw B.
Yeah, he knows that he's not going to be able to toss out too much right now that's going to be able to take the stock, but he's going to go for some setups on that ledge of the stage to keep him in a very unfortunate corner here.
Kasen able to take that first stock flip jump kick. It's such a ridiculous move.
Most certainly. Okay. Gets the Zaire. I'm loving the utilization of that. Short hop Nair, not quite what it used to be as well, man. You know, I used to be one of ZSS's better approaching tools. I think it ended up getting nerfed a little bit. Obviously, it's still a good move, but not as good as it used to be.
We can see certain things like the Nair to the spike from the down B. So there are certain percents where you have to be very, very careful about getting hit by ZSS Nair.
Yeah, most certainly. Opens up for a lot. Okay, looking for a falling up air that time. Wow, and just something as simplistic as the Zaire, keeping Airvault at bay here.
Yeah, ZSS kind of has hidden zoning potential that a lot of people don't realize, because usually you think of ZSS, you think of super hyper aggression the whole time. But she really does have some decent zoning tools with the side B and the Zaire to really keep your opponent at bay, and then instantly you switch to that hyper aggression. You get, you know, a dash attacker, the up airs into up B, and just the completely changing playstyle can really mix up and get in players' heads.
Yeah, and not only just the zoner, but she's really good at keeping the space like really up close and personal to her in her own right. Like that down smash, if you get too close to that, you are in for a world of hurt. And then like the options out of down smash, like it, I mean, she can really just do what she wants in certain cases. So let's see if she can try to apply that here and close this thing out. Airvault start out that first match electrifyingly great, but unfortunately fell slightly short here. Okay, up smash, interesting.
I like to see Airvault is kind of waiting patiently after these jabs, after the side Bs. But I feel like he's waiting it slightly too long. This case has been able to DI down to the ground and shield the rest of the mix-ups from Airvault, so it maybe needs to be a little bit more aggressive with his uses there. Because normally if you do land one of the side Bs, it most of the time will combo into the other ones.
Right.
So going for the guaranteed damage rather than the kind of mix-up, I feel like it would be better, at least at the early stages, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Airvault looking a little bit better this game, taking the tether option away from Kasen, but you know, if at first you don't succeed, you got to go ahead and try once more. Okay. And it's starting to look like Kasen might need a different game plan at hand here right now. Airvault looking like he's starting to adapt here a little bit better.
Going for that up smash. Trying to read a roll from Kasen, not giving it to him.
Oh! Okay, the jukes. Catches the air dodge, but still not quite enough. Fantastic DI here coming out from Airvault. Airvault staying airborne throughout the entirety of this set here, but let's see what he can do if he gets his feet back onto the ground.
Staying alive here. Kasen in control, though, and lands the back air. And that was really a long period of time, 30 seconds maybe, of Airvault being in a bad spot. And Kasen just keeping him off stage, trying to recover. Yeah.
Okay, goes for delayed dancing blade there that time, channeling his inner MK Leon, getting that stock taken. See if he can do it once more right now. ZSS, obviously a character. She gets one hit, that hit turns into 12 hits. Okay, chasing her down. Oh! And then again, taking the tether option away. I'm liking this shift and play style from Airvault.
And that's something that Marth can do very, very well. Not a lot of characters can punish those tether recoveries because they're so quick. So little recovery frames on them. But
Marth just does love punishing good recoveries in general. Like, even thinking of like Bayonetta, I've seen a lot of the Marth mains go off and like go for counter on the afterburner kick, or like the witch twist. Obviously has to be well read, but the fact that Marth and Lucina had that option in their arsenal makes them that great of a character.
Or even just dropping down and dolphin slashing back up. Because you have invincibility on a dolphin slash. The Nair, though, going to take out Kasen, and it's sending this to game 3.
Yes. Okay.
And without that SD from Airvault that time, you kind of wonder where the first game would have gone.
Of course. Yeah. He's looking good right now, Airvault. You know, with that being said, seems to be looking a little bit more comfortable as we move right into this next game here. Obviously, now this one is up for all the marbles. Game number 3, we're started out on the stage that they, I think they button checked on here. Dreamland 64.
And it seems like actually both these players have very, very strong control and ability to keep their opponent at disadvantage once they're in disadvantage. But it's because there have been times back and forth both games where one, like Marth has the stage and ZSS is trying to recover, and they just can't. So it seems like they really need to work on the recovery. This is so scary.
Ooh, something to work on. Oh my goodness, is how you land on these platforms, man. That was an incredible conversion there by Kasen. Somebody please just click that and send that to me, man. That was just a super dominating performance.
But like I said, in these disadvantage spates, they're getting hit. They're getting hit a lot.
Yeah, you're getting hit quite a bit. Okay, Airvault, as we know, he can close out of stock playing a character like Marth very quickly. Good footwork there with the help of Whiskey Woods, kind of pushing Airvault out of positioning. Okay, short hop Nair. Waiting that time. I think he was expecting the grab option. Airvault, though, playing smart, jumping out of the way, but I don't want him to jump too far away.
Makes it back on stage, and now Kasen trying to recover here. You see that coverage off stage, so scary.
Yes. Sometimes you don't even have to throw out an attack out there. That's how you know you can really shake your opponent up. Okay. I think he was looking for the cross up that time, though. Still ate up a lot of shield. Oh, my God. And he was, wow. Kasen, wow. That could be the shift that Airvault needs to try to turn this thing around here. Kasen, though, let's see if he can try to keep this momentum up.
He's shaking his head in the player cam. See if his mentality can hold up here. Come back after that SD.
Okay. The up air from up underneath. You got to get from up underneath there, as you know. One tipper up air, man, that could be a huge amount of damage. And that being said, closing this gap out even shorter than what it was before. Uh-oh.
That was slick.
Do the math right now. Numbers aren't looking too hot right now by Kasen.
Almost died from that Nair.
Really looking for a lie here. Both of these two players is really throwing out a lot of you know, aggressive tactics here. It's crazy.
Kind of unconventional tactics as well.
Yeah, you know, up special. We used to see a lot of up special kills in Brawl. You know, it doesn't quite work the same in this game. Oh, is that really it? Wow. Wow.
I told you that move was ridiculous. Flip, jump, kick.
What